Hello and welcome back to Butcher That Model and part 3 of our death guard foetid bloke drone. So, how have we got on so far? We've done the biological bit, the flesh bit, we've done the metal bits, we've done the base screen down, giving it a wash, done all the piping, and it's starting to come up now, starting to come along now. So, what we're going to do today, we're going to do the edge highlighting and things like that, but I'm going to concentrate now on this eye. And what I've done is I've given it an undercoat of a silver. Now I'm going to try something I've never done before, so in theory this should work. We'll have a say. What we're going to do to start off with, I'm going to do a very, very thin glaze of yellow. This is purely experimental. I'll give it a bit of a thin glaze. We need to leave that to dry. And while that's drying, we shall get on and we'll do a bit of edge highlighting. We'll do some bone work on the engines. So we need to leave that to dry for a little bit. So we'll get on with these engine bits. And I'm just going to paint these spiky bits a bit of a bone colour, just to give them something different. And then we'll get on and we'll do some little bit of edge highlighting. We'll finish off the eye, put him together, give him some sort of basing, and he should be finished. Now if you're going to do this kit, seriously you need to do it in the way I've done it. Do it in sub-assemblies, because getting in behind these engines, especially behind the guns as well, if you build it and try and paint it, it's an absolute nightmare to do. It's a real pig to get into. There are other videos on the YouTubes. Dr. Faust, he's done one of these. He's done an amazing job on it, absolutely beautiful. But if you watch his video, even he says, I wish I'd done it in sub-assemblies, because he had a real job getting in behind places and things like that. But considering he did, he's done an amazing job. It's beautiful. So that's Dr. Faust. Check that one out. Considering he had to struggle to get in to do things, he did a great job of it. So if you're going to build it, do what I did as well. I left the front canopy off, the carapace, because getting in behind to do these bones and the skin and that is a real pain if you have that on. So, and it doesn't spoil anything. You're not gonna ruin anything because it's all glued behind. So, but if you're going to do it sub-assemblies, that you seriously need to use super glue. Don't ever use your Tamiya extra thin or Mr. Hobby one or all that. Don't use a hot glue that melts and does a welding sort of attachment to it, because it will ruin whatever paint you put on. If you get paint somewhere, it will totally destroy it. So when you're building sub-assemblies, always remember to use super glue or super glue gel to glue it back together. Just more yellow on that. Right, we'll leave that to dry. You think, what is he planning on doing with that eye? It's just an idea I've had. It might work, it might not. I've never seen anybody else do it, so probably it might not, but if they haven't and it does work, well, hey, I've discovered a new technique. These are looking decidedly bony now. The other thing I did do as well is on the weapons, and I'll explain how I did it. It's very, very simple to give us that sort of effect. Really simple to do. All I've done is I painted it in Flash Kits yellow, and I give it two coatings of X-ray flame, the technical paint, just to give it that glue effect. I think what I'll do later on is I'm going to come back in a minute and we'll edge highlight the tops of these with the yellow. Make them really pop and stand out. We'll see if the grand experiment works in a minute. Right, so what I'll do, I'll pause this for now, because we're just waiting now, really, for that yellow to dry. So, I'll see you in a second, in a minute. It's a time machine. Time machine. Now, that yellow's had time to dry now. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get some Sabrite green, twist and pull my brush and get it to a point. And I'm just going to go and draw a line right down the middle. Just like that. Right, so we'll leave that for a second. Let that dry. Do I like that line? Do I want to make it a bit thicker? That's better. We made them a tiny bit thicker. Right, so what we're going to do now, once that's dried, which won't take very long at all, I'm going to use a clear yellow. This is the one by AK. Let's leave that for a second. Let that green totally go off. I'll take some more of this because I'm nearly out. I am literally scraping the bottom of the barrel. Alright then. Now, if you ever get this stuff, or Tamiya clear, don't try and wash your brush in water, because it won't work. Right then. So, let's just get in now and give this a nice coat with the clear yellow. And what that will do when it dries, that will dry really glossy, like a lens. Right there. So we'll leave that to dry. I think our bony bits now are on the engine things and dry. So what we'll do now is we'll just get some Agravax Earthshade. Where did I put my Agravax? There it is. Oh, big hairy arm. And we'll just shade these bony parts. A bit of the Agravax in. It's going to get boring, isn't it, sitting here watching me paint, but sorry. Well, that's what you come here for, isn't it? Watch some bloke paint something. No. It's going to be boring. So what I'll do, you know what I'm going to do. There's no point, you've seen how to paint. You've seen some bloke putting a wash on before, haven't you? So what I'll do is I'll give it a pause and I'll see you in half a second. When this is all ready, and we can do some edge highlighting on the body. time machine. Now that's our time to dry. Now this is the time where let's do an experiment. This might work, or this might not. Now, as this is been blessed by Nurgle, I'm going to try a thing using AK clear smoke. And we're just going to see if this is going to give us the effect that this poor creature's got a bit of a cataract going on. Now, like I said, it might work, and then again, it might not. So we want to get it on really thin actually, so we can still see. We can still see some of the eye through it. But hopefully, when that dries, that will give us the appearance. Oh, bloat-drone starting to get a cataract. And that's the sort of thing that Nurgle would do. Bestow these gifts upon this poor creature. Let's give him a cataract as well, because he's like that. He's such a nice bloke. Right, I'm pretty much happy with that. Now then, let's do a little bit of edge highlighting. So we'll use our Nurgling green, and we're literally just going to use the edge of our brush and just pick out the palette, and let's just pick out some of these edges. Not a lot. We don't want it to be too bright and cheerful and happy. We just want to edge highlight some points. Just like that. Just literally just use the edge of your brush on these straight angles, on the straight lines and ridges, and just very gently. Nothing major. We're not going mad with this one. Just pick out some of the edges. Then we're on top of the carapace there. Same on the back here. And it's literally just all the raised high points. Just use the edge of your brush. Don't try and edge highlight with the point unless you really have to. That'll always give you a really nice neat edge highlight line. Right, I'm going to build these up a little bit. So once I've done that, oh, let's edge highlight them guns as well. So we'll just use our yellow, and I'll just notice something as well that we need to do, that I need to do. It's got three big scratches. It looks like somebody's clawed it. So I'm going to pick that out in our flesh colour as well, and then make it look. Oh, I'll do it on camera. It'd be so much better if I do things on camera. It's got gouges in the front, like somebody's clawed it. Some creatures that they got it. So what I'll do is I'll just pick that out and just use our demonite hide and a bit of, oh, what's the wash called? Vinci violet. Put a bit of that in there, and then we'll put the rest of it together. So let's just have a quick edge highlight on our guns. A bit in the palette. Twist it round, and then just obviously gently just on the top bits. Just give it a bit of yellow on the raised points. Awkward to get into there, like that. So we'll go across like that. Just on the top, we'll leave the underneath darker, and then we'll put it all together. Put some sort of base material on it. and we'll stick it in the light box and see what it looks like when it's all together. So I'll see you in half a second in the light box. It's a time machine. Time machine. There we go. One death guard foetid bloat-drone, ready to bestow Nurgle's gifts on anybody that's daft enough to get within range. I enjoyed building that. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, click like and subscribe. And remember, this video has been brought to you in association with the Sprue Crew. Now then, what's coming next? Ooh, something that looks very, very complicated and quite hard to do, but looks can be very deceiving. Who's it going to be? I'll see you in the next episode when we'll find out who looks difficult. It's actually not as bad as it looks.